tonight on the Chillstream. I agreed to do something I didn't really want to do, which was drive to Virginia, and it didn't quite work out. So I called up and I got myself off the hook, which I'm happy about. Bitcoin is dumping down to like 54K because apparently Mt. Gox people are selling all their Bitcoin. And I don't know. I got a whole bunch of videos. I got tons of stuff. Anyway, talk to you guys in 2 minutes. All right, we are back. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's a Sunday night chill stream. I was kind of geared up to do this from the road because I figured, I could do that. And like I said in the intro, well, the way my day went is I did a couple of locals early in the afternoon, and I hung around, waiting for like sort of like something else that was like middle distance that wouldn't be too bad. But nothing really happened. And then 8 o'clock, they said, "Oh, you want to go to Virginia?" I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. I was like, I need the money. I could always use the money. I figured, yeah, I'll be out till 4 in the morning, but I'll do it. So I agreed to do it, but then I go and the thing's not ready, and it's 8:30, 9:15, and I started calculating in my head when I was going to get back home. I'm like, started at noon, and oh shit, like they're fucking calling. Literally activate, decline that call. Someone just tried to call me right now. So I called them up. I said, take me out of the job. I'm not doing the job. And they said, fine, we'll get somebody else to do it. And that's that. Because not like I said, agreeing to the job at 8 o'clock, 9:15, still not ready for me to go. I'm thinking I'm going to get home at 6 o'clock in the morning, and that would just suck. It's not worth it. That's like I don't know how many hour day, but it's just not worth it. So I decided not to do that. But I was kind of geared up because there was a gap between, the job I did in the afternoon and when they gave me they offered me the Virginia job, which was the second offer. They offered me before that a fucking job going to Westfield, Massachusetts, drop a piece at Westfield, which is Gulfstream, and then drive to fucking Vermont. I'm like, fuck out of here, driving to fucking Vermont at night. There's nobody in Vermont at night. Everything in Vermont closes at fucking 10 o'clock. Everything, the entire state is closed. Serial killers fucking hang up their fucking kitchen knives at fucking 10 o'clock. Nothing happens in Vermont after 10 o'clock. So I was like, I ain't going to fuck. And they ended up giving it to somebody else. And I met the driver, a guy who used to work here years ago, that is now back. So their promise of we're not going to hire any more new guys, I guess technically is still true because that guy used to work here, but they're still fucking adding drivers. It's all whatever. It's all part of the fucking bullshit you got to deal with in life. Not the end of the world. I got myself out of the fucking 16-hour workday, which I'm happy about, and the rest of it we'll just let go. But just let it fucking go because it's not that big of a fucking deal. But I'm still looking forward to, and I will promote this. I'm going to promote this heavily. The discussion I'm going to have with Cultured Thug on this coming Friday, which is, I don't know what the day of the week is, but it'll be Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. To have a chat because I haven't talked to him in actually it's been fucking years, and glad I found him. And I listened to his entire stream on Friday, and he's going full fash, as they say. He's like he's deep into the fascism thing, and so I'm thinking about my criticisms of fascism and like what's going on with that. So I was like, shit, if I talk to Culture Thug, this guy's written books and stuff, and I'm not gonna, he knows what he's talking about. So I was like, I gotta learn something about fascism. So I Googled fascism and Spanish fascism. Apparently, fascism in Spain was such an incredible flop when I came over from Italy that they were just fucking begging for rich people to back their cause. And Spain was fascist, but it didn't participate in World War II. Stalin stole their gold. Russia stole all their fucking gold. And they didn't do fuck all about it. So they got ripped off and treated like a fucking punk, right? This is the way I'm going to pitch it to Culture Thug. They got punked. They ran up on them, took their shit, and treated them like a bitch. And there was nothing that Spain could do about it, right? Spain didn't get revenge. They didn't get their property back. They got ripped off, and there was nothing they could do. So fascism really didn't work out that well for the nation of Spain. And Spain, under fascism, up until Franco died in 1972, they did nothing. They played no big role in anything. No great technology came out of Spain. No great fucking art or anything like that. Like it's just life just went along. They were fascists in charge, but they were sitting on top of a system that had been going on for thousands of fucking years. You know what I mean? Spain is warm and sunny, and they put they chop up oranges and put them in red wine, and then they have a lot of ham and bacon products. But they've been doing that since long before fascism. Fascism didn't invent Spanish cuisine. So I look at fascism as an absolute flop. And I don't know if he's saying that National Socialist Germany was fascist, but maybe he is. Maybe he's saying that fascism is like an authoritarian thing. But what I would argue is, first off, Hitler didn't come to power. He wasn't elected, right? There was a three-way split, and it was a deadlock, and somebody handed him the chancellorship. And the first thing he did was, first legal thing he did was, we're just going to suspend the Constitution. So it was democracy that gave him power, and then he said, thanks, democracy. Now I'm going to destroy the Constitution that gave me the power I actually had, right? So, that's not a very nice thing to do. Somebody gives you the gift of national power, and you cut their legs out from underneath them. But he did fix the economy. That's the thing. That the National Socialists came up with a state-issued currency that was interest-free and very easily paid back if you did certain other things. That made the German economy boom. While the rest of the world, the central bankers had thrown into a depression, and based off that limited success, that and the promise. This is I thought it was fucking this afternoon, and I got to say it because it's since my head too long. I think the joke is stale, but historically, both Adolf Hitler and Oprah Winfrey took the same route to power. They promised people cars. Oprah Winfrey, when her ratings were going down at the end of her fucking TV career, was going, "You get a car, you get a car, you get a car," and that's what Hitler did. Hitler said the Volkswagen, the wagon for the folk. Everybody would have a Volkswagen. You know what I mean? He promised the German people material prosperity and a new mechanical device, technological device, to move about Deutschland freely, right? Because what the fuck do you have a car for? What to get to work faster? No. So you can take off work and go right around the fucking whatever, Bavaria, whatever the fuck you want to do. So interesting that he promised people material prosperity, freedom of movement, right, and by extension, less work. And some of them got Volkswagens, but most of them ended up dying in a foreign land. I think if you said I'm going to send your son off on a fool's fucking errand to fight three different armies at once, I don't think he would have been quite so popular. But at least he was smart enough in the early days to make some promises. How well he delivered on them. Turns out fixing the economy was the easy part, and then it went down from there. But I don't think anyone else has been fascist. I don't know what happened in Italy. Italy invented fascism. Italy, for me, World War II, they decided they wanted to invade Greece. That went badly for them, so badly that Germany had to come and clean it up. And there are people that contend that it's because it took 243 days for the German army to defeat the Greeks, and it only took like 30 days to defeat everyone else because the fucking Greeks just kept fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. That it's the idea has been floated that Greece cost Germany the world, that Germany would run the world if it wasn't the fact that the Greeks fought so much. Now, I don't think that's really, really true because at the end of the day, Germany did not understand they were at war with central banking, and central banking controlled multiple countries. The most important of the two being the United States and Britain. So, 3 against 1, you're going to lose that fight. You're just going to lose that fight. Virgil Dark, Purple Heart, welcome to the show. So, by the way, notice that you subscribe to me on Rumble. So everyone else lurking in the stream, I'm going to watch the stream. Again, follow me on Rumble, RUMBL, and it's STFUJ in uppercase letters, AMES. And you can build up my channel there. Not that I really build it up, but I might as well have an account. I put the 2 videos, my 2 greatest hits videos, my 2 most popular anti-Semitisms up there. So in case you want to binge watch that, even though they're reruns, people like to do that. They like to binge watch, their favorite Netflix series. They like to binge watch The Walking Dead or The Sopranos or whatever the fuck, so you can binge watch me if you were so inclined. So yeah, I wanted to get those 2 things up there, and then that's why I created the channel. I just wanted them out there again. Oh, which by the way, someone within 24 hours of me putting that up, I got an email from someone who claimed that that my content, that I put up on Rumble, right, which is the original the edited stream of Dubid versus me back, in whatever, like 2017, and then the rematch in whatever the fuck that was, 2020, 21, whatever the fuck that, I can't remember now, but it was November 2021. I think it was right before COVID, I believe. The guy said, "Oh, that's exactly the content I'm looking for." And I've been looking at this email. I'm like, "Who the fuck is looking for that content?" Oh, let's discuss a mutually beneficial relationship. And I let the email sit for like 3-4 days, and then I'm like, "Okay, what are you offering me?" And then whoever it was running the account says, "Oh, remind me again what your content is. Like what channel are you talking?" I was like, "Well, here's your original email." I didn't tell them what my channel was. I didn't say, "Hey, I'm the guy who's verbally humiliating Jews on the internet." Didn't say that. I just said, "Yeah, you contacted me. Here's your original contact email. Like, why don't you give me a list of people whose channels you boosted and give me their contact details so I can email these other content creators, find out what wonderful things you've done for them, and what mutually beneficial relationships would look like with this guy." And so the guy sends me back and said, "Oh, the links are above," and there's no links in the fucking email. So obviously it's Hasbara or the fucking FBI or whatever. It's probably fucking the shitty English and the oddball way that the pitch was garbage just makes me think that it's fucking that it's someone in Unit 8200 of the fucking IDF. I don't think it's. I don't think it's an American. I think the American Fed posters are slicker, and even the way they write things is more like an American would write them. This person, it didn't seem like they understood English. It's not like they used wrong words or anything like that, but it just the way all this it was put together just came off wrong, and it was all a lot of a lot of a lot of implication and hinting, and I'm like, just fucking spit it out. You know? But of course, they can't, and because it's all fucking fake. It's all as fake as fucking as you could possibly be. As fake as space. As fake as the fact that Bitcoin is crashing. I didn't realize. I said last week. I'm like, oh, Mt. Gox is finally distributing its Bitcoin, but nobody's selling. Well, apparently I spoke too soon. Apparently I spoke just a little bit too soon. This is from August 2nd, a couple of days ago. Bitcoin and open hodlers holding their breath as 140,000 Bitcoin. That's a lot of Bitcoins, by the way. From the Mt. Gox settlement flow into the market, and that's why we have the sale, the $54,000 Bitcoin sale. My worried fuck though, I was buying Bitcoin at $10,000, so it's crashing down to 55. Oh well, you know, oh fucking well. But I have a longer term view, and it's very clear in my mind that I do not wish to save the value of my driving the boxes, whether I choose to drive 16 hours or like today I had a shorter 8 hour day. Um, the value that I earn from driving the boxes, I do not save in the paper promises of central bankers. I do not save the value of my life in the promises of Jews. I don't do that. You can do that. Maybe everyone in your family does that, but I think I have an opportunity to do something different, so I choose to do something different. And I understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I think we're going to win. Personally, I think we're going to take over the planet. Because they inevitably fuck up the Hungarian Pengu, Weimar Republic, Venezuela, fucking Lebanon, Argentina, Zimbabwe. We know that this ends in tears. We know how this ends, right? Trusting another person with all to create and store the value of an entire nation and play it straight, play it by the rules. That's never worked out. That's literally never worked out. So I'm trying something different. It could end up in tears for me, but um, I'm not being passive, and I'm not just accepting what they're giving. I'm actively looking to do something different. Actively looking to do something different. Although too many people, I'm going to show you. This is a Facebook post from one of my nieces. I scribbled out her name and her friend's name. But what my niece posted was make groceries affordable again. And she tried to get into like a Trump rally. She lives in New Jersey. She lives outside of New Jersey. And on 2 occasions, she tried to get into a Trump rally, but it was too many hours, too long, this, that, and the other. And then her friend says, vote Trump and it will. I guess the price of groceries will magically come down. And you can see she responds, oh, I am, girl. And this, on a personal level, I like that girl. That's the girl I taught how to shoot. She believes in the flag and all that fucking shit, and she would never argue with me. She just keep quiet, and she knows one, not to argue with me, but she doesn't have a good response. And she's putting her faith in a billionaire reality TV star who is a puppet, but she will never ever see that. Decades before she sees that, and then the consequences of all this. Well, she'll have to deal with when she could right now think, hey, I'm a single mom, I got a kid, I need savings technology. You know, I try to put, like Trump went to Nashville and talked to the Bitcoin conference. I try to put this in front of them to try, like, here, you love this guy, he loves Bitcoin. What the two of you get together? What the three of you get together? But I don't think it's working. If you're not ready to do this, if you think you can use the money that the central bankers print, if you think you can use their money to overthrow them using some magical fascism, wait for some outrage or something, uh, I don't think it's going to work. I mean, even Hitler, they had to hand him the chancellorship. It took a democratic process to give him power. So he never, that philosophy, fascism, do what I tell you or else, is not really persuasive. And this is going to be my argument with Culture Thug come this Friday. And I have to, I want to, I want to present it correctly. I don't want to come off like a jerk. I don't want to come off as too harsh because I don't intend to be. I like the guy. I think he's a smart guy, but there needs to be a criticism of what these people believe. Whether it's my niece, right? That how is voting for Donald Trump going to make groceries more affordable? Explain to me how it's going to make uh, hamburger cheaper. Like, explain that, you know. And she can't explain that. She just believes it. And I would argue that, she sees that things are, my niece sees that the world is not going the way she likes. It's not working for her. And she puts her faith in Donald Trump. I would argue that Culture Thug and others like him see that the world is not working for them, and they're powerless to fix it. So they put their faith in an ideology of fascism, and that's not going to work either. Fascism is as empty, hollow, and worthless as Donald Trump himself. Um, it has not worked. It has never worked. It exists nowhere now on the planet, right? There's no nation state that says, hey, let's do that thing. And you could say, well, that's because the commies are holding it down. Well, yeah, the commies are holding it down. Central bankers are holding it down. That's for sure. They've demonized it. But pause for a moment and think about this, right? Fascism is a rule set, a system of governance, right? It's different from democracy. It's kind of like monarchy, but without the pomp and circumstance. It's this, what you believe to be a superior rule set, and yet it cannot gain traction in a adverse environment, right? The environment where there's commies everywhere, central bankers everywhere. The fascists cannot overcome that adverse condition, right? This is you are they cannot flourish. But fascism cannot flourish in adversity. If fascism can only flourish in a perfect set of circumstances where someone like the chancellor, whatever the fucking chancellor, Red Baron, hands you the power. Here you go. Here's the power to run the country. Then you're never going to get it. You know what I mean? You're never going to get it. Your argument has failed, right? You can promise people a Volkswagen, all you want, and some people are like, "Hey, I'd like a Volkswagen. That would be cool." But if you're promising them a Volkswagen, but the quiet part is, and I'm going to send your sons to die in foreign lands. Yeah, as soon as they find out that second part, it's not going to go that well. Especially when you say, I'm going to send your sons to die in foreign lands against three countries, uh, three other countries. Like, it's going to be a 3-against-1 fight. I'm going to go start a fight uh, with the two toughest guys on the block and their little shrimpy drunken Russian friend. That's not going to work well for you. That's what happened, and that's just not going to work. So I want to get that point across. I'm doing like the history thing, and he was talking about how he's struggling for money. He said as soon as his $50 gets in his checking account, it has to go out and blah 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 this and that. He was uh, talking about struggling financially, and not having uh, sufficient excess uh, wealth or currency to do what it is he wants to do. And so I was meditating on that and meditating on that. And there is that fucking sarcastic, like I'm gonna, I could approach this to like being a total jerk off, but I don't want it. I want to present my total jerk off ideas, but which are based on real observations, but not with a harsh intent. You know what I mean? I want to present it as plainly as I can, right? Without like sort of jumping out of shadows. I'm going to set it up a certain way, at least I think and then I'm going to tell them, listen, this next part is going to suck. This next part is going to suck. Now, like everything I just said in the last 10 minutes, if you're a Hitler worshiper, you go, oh my God, that sucks. I can't take it. Well, prepare yourself for this. That's what I'm literally actually going to tell them. If I have my facts straight, he lives in Las Vegas, Nevada, right? So he lives in the desert in a city founded by Bugsy Siegel, a Jewish gangster, right? Whose entire purpose is to fleece, is to extract wealth from Americans while giving them back nothing, just giving them flashing lights and spinning wheels on a fucking slot machine, right? Or a roulette wheel, to take all the value you've created, take all your life savings, because they take your life savings in Vegas, right? The whole purpose was to attract people into the desert to lose their life savings in exchange for nothing, right? He chooses to live in the desert in a city founded by Jews, dedicated to ripping people off, and he himself is not personally successful. He doesn't have the material wealth that he would want, and he says, man, it's why I don't understand why nobody wants to be a fascist. Well, can you honestly, clearly look at that circumstance? Can you look at your circumstances and say, who wants to live like that? Who wants to live on the edge of financial disaster in a place founded by the people who fucking hate you, that is literally a fucking desert, right? And offers you nothing fair in exchange for your labor, your money, your currency, right? Think that through. Think about that. Sit and meditate on that. Why would you live in that environment? Now, there's other reasons, but framed in that way, how can you say, gee whiz, I'm such a great ambassador for fascism. I don't understand why everyone doesn't want to join. You know, that's a damn good question. Certainly that he has never asked himself. You know what I mean? In the same way, listen, there's a lot of difficult, fucking hard questions people don't ask themselves. They don't want to look at the reality of their circumstances and what they need to change that, if they can change that. So that's what I want to get across. I mean, I don't want to be like, he doesn't have this channel, so I don't. He's not gonna know unless someone gave it to him. I don't plan on fucking like sandbagging him, but he's not a shrinking violet. You know what I mean? He's not a snowflake. He should be able to deal with this in a straightforward fashion. But I'm not looking to fucking stick a knife in his back. But I want to, as straightforwardly as I can, present an honest, fact-based criticism and get him to sort of contemplate that. And I think that probably would be good for him. And it certainly would be good for his audience. It might be good for his audience, but his audience will probably end up hating me anyway. Which somehow I will have to fucking live. Somehow I will have to live with that, even though everything's going my fucking way. Literally everything's going my way. Everything, don't worry, not to fucking worry. All this stuff. I've noticed like all the pro-nuclear propaganda. It's like everywhere. I don't know if you've seen it. Nuclear reactor breakthrough. New material can replace costly nickel metal alloys. Whatever. There's something that it's a new way to make nuclear power safe. Here's another one. Check this out. Former reactor operator mom reveals what she wishes people would know about nuclear power. It's time to get loud. So they got a bunch of milfy looking, whatever, America broads with the hoorah protons and electrons, right? Tons and tons of, there's so much pro-nuclear stuff being pumped out there. And the reason why is because it works. And people will see that and go, yeah, I guess it is time to come out. Yeah, well, we can't let the Chinese win. And all the technology that's been suppressed for the last fucking, since the 1930s is going to be uncorked because we fear that China will outstrip us, right? China is not interested in propping up the petrodollar. It's going to do nuclear. It's going to do hydroelectric, making electric cars. It still uses a lot of oil, but not nearly as much. They're not propping up the petrodollar. That's why they're a threat to the U.S. And we can't have that. We got to have. We got to have. If we lose the petrodollar, we lose everything. And China is sort of on the path to some sort of energy independence, and that's bad for America's future. That is, we have to stop that somehow. But I don't know what's the argument to stop that. When we are now desperately trying to catch up with them, their ability to generate electrical power. That is a big geostrategic problem that we have, that we created ourselves. We made this problem ourselves by not, by the fucking people that run America extracting all the wealth, all, suppressing fucking technologies that could free Americans from stoop labor, that could free America from fucking drudgery. We could have if we did nuclear power in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, like we should have, everything would be fucking electric powered. You would have fucking electric robots clean your fucking house. Like all that shit would be fucking done, and your electric bill would be like $2 a month. Like $2 a month. You'd have an electric car, blah 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 blah. You can have all of that. You could live like the fucking Jetsons if the scumbags that run shit weren't the scumbags that they are. But we're not getting that, and because they were very busy, planning the gay pride parades and trying to figure out how to make interracial fucking relationships popular in Hollywood fucking movies, the Chinese snuck ahead. The Chinese was like, you know what? We're not going to do this. We're going to go our own way. We're going to take all that good shit you gave us, America, and we're just going to run with it. And now we're fucking pulling our hair out of our heads, which I think we could normally deal with that. But our friends with the small hats that don't eat bacon have thought, hey, let's light the Middle East on fire. What could possibly go wrong? And I sincerely believe that these two circumstances, pulling America in two opposite directions, demanding resources that we don't really have to spare, it might be our unraveling. We might save, it's possible. We save it, but the ideas that I have, here's this, I love this. These fucking articles are coming out showing how much they're panicking. So there's a picture of Trump. It says, making Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset contradicts freedom from government narrative, says Wall Street Journal. So the Wall Street Journal, right, this great financial newspaper, is against Bitcoin, this new financial asset. They're like, no. We're all about money, but just not that, because that's not going to work. We're 100% sure of it. Trust us with the Wall Street Journal. And then here's another one. This one, I think this one was from Forbes. No, Bitcoin will not solve our national debt. So, and what's beautiful to me is that there was a time 4 and 5 years ago where, had you said this out loud, you'd been locked in a lunatic asylum. People would have said, you're fucking crazy. You're eating some of those fucking psilocybin mushroom gummies. You have no idea what you're fucking bouncing off the walls lunatic. But now we have major publications having to present their take on this question. And guess what? They're going to lose. You know why they're going to lose? Because a lot of people, a lot of people are going to get into Bitcoin. You're watching this price dip, 54,000. Fuck, it could go to 50,000. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's on sale. Just smash up the buy button. This is from August 2nd, a couple of days ago. Morgan Stanley to offer Bitcoin ETFs to its wealthy clients. So Morgan Stanley is going to offer the Bitcoin ETF to their clients worth at least 1.5 million. So you need a seven-figure income at Morgan Stanley in order to even be offered Bitcoin. Bitcoin is being pitched as an asset for well-to-do people. Now, it's a false narrative, but this is the way they're presenting it. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't have $50,000 in a paper bag. Well, neither do I. But you buy Bitcoin in chunks, little chunks here, little chunks there. Buy more, and it adds, and you just build your fucking stack. So it's millionaires. Who else buying Bitcoin? Believe it or not, Jersey City, yes, the state of New Jersey, not the entire state of New Jersey, but Jersey City to invest in Bitcoin ETFs, the latest pension fund to dive into crypto. The short-term price action, do not be fooled by it. Do not be fooled by it. This Mt. Gox dump happens once, and then it gets in the rearview mirror, and that's that. So everything's still fucking going our way entirely. Morgan Stanley is not going to offer their billionaire clients something that's going to lose them money, right? And pension funds don't do crazy, risky things, generally speaking. They generally do not. So the future very bright for Bitcoin and the motherfucker who makes the chips that mine Bitcoin. When I saw this, I didn't realize they're both that short. Our favorite chink, our man in Chinky Land, the guy who cleaned more toilets than anyone at Stanford University, sitting with Mark Zuckerberg. Blah, blah, blah. Creators are going to have their own AI assistants, blah, 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 blah. They're sitting together, being all chummy, talking on microphones. And, what's interesting is that Zuckerberg, who represents Facebook, and Facebook is a DARPA project, right? It came from a project called Lifelong. Facebook is as deep state as it fucking gets. But he still wants to make billions and billions and billions because there's billions to be made. And apparently Zuckerberg doesn't like Apple because they fucked him on something. Whatever. There's some way that an iPhone user could block the information that Facebook extracts from your browsing, and that costs Zuckerberg billions, and he's pissed, and so he hates Apple. So he wants to do something different, and that's why he's sitting there with our favorite chink saying we're going to buy all these fucking monster fucking computer chips, and we're going to make our own new better thing, new app store better than the Apple iPhone store, or whatever. Which is, I don't give a fuck. It's great news. It means Nvidia stock to the fucking moon. So they're not sitting there. They're not sitting there for fucking for shits and fucking giggles. And so I was really happy to see that, because what that tells me is that deep state is going to be buying Nvidia chips until the end of fucking time. Till the end of fucking time. And Intel, their stock over the weekend, the company lost 26% of its value in one day because their chips are shit. Their latest chips, and I saw this, gamers were using them, and there's what's called overclocking a processor. What that is my understanding of it. A computer chip is supposed to run at so many megahertz, let's say 100 megahertz, but it could run at 115 megahertz, except it's unstable and it's going to crash. So they dial it down, they speed limit it to 100 megahertz. But you can, with the software switch, just say fucking overclock the processor, just run it. And gamers love that overclocking the processor thing because they want the game to be fast and smooth, and et cetera, et cetera. But it causes sometimes instability. The 13th and 14th generation of Intel chips were crashing on all these gaming systems. The first thing they did was blame NVIDIA video cards, but it wasn't NVIDIA. People who used those same chips in non-gaming applications had the fucking all kinds of stability issues with their software. And when they complained to Intel, Intel was like, we don't know what's wrong. First they said it's not happening, then they said they don't know how to fix it, and then people just decided, fuck it. Fuck Intel, it's all going down the fucking. The chink that cleans the toilets is going to win the fucking planet, or at least the global chip thing. You see, but James, there's other gooks, there's other chopstick jockeys out there that will try to eat his rice bowl. Yeah, they're gonna try, but it ain't gonna work. I got a video here from. Let's take a quick, let's just take a bow to our friends in South Korea. In Korea, where they eat kimchi and lots of garlic. Got a story about the #1 electronics maker in Korea.
An indefinite strike has been declared at South Korean tech giant Samsung. 6,500 members of the company's workers' union have joined the strike, demanding better pay and benefits. The union has roughly 30,000 members, about 1/4 of the firm's South Korean workforce. They originally planned to strike for 3 days, but union leaders said management showed no intentions of holding talks. Samsung is the most valuable company in South Korea, and the strike is the biggest in its history.
Holy Antifa, man. They look like Antifa guys, right? So Samsung is on strike, which is unity. Isn't that, didn't you see the beautiful unity there? And why do people unify? Give me some more fucking money. They're not getting paid enough. So there's an indefinite strike. Samsung Electronics, the largest electronics firm in South Korea, and all these articles you read, oh, Samsung's going to beat NVIDIA, and Samsung chips are going to do this. It's fucking, no matter what you read, it's bullshit, because there's nobody going to work in the factory. Pay us more. And what is Samsung doing? No, we can't pay you more, because then we won't be able to afford kimchi ourselves. And as we all know, that's bullshit. That is bullshit. That is total and complete fucking bullshit. What is this? So much bullshit. There's so much bullshit. Where was my? I can't remember if I did this last week. But this is sort of interesting. This is the gay guy who runs AI, Sam Altman. Jewish, by the way. I don't know if you know that. He's a Jew. They did a study on universal basic income, and what they found was people spent the money on food and rent, but that they were interested in opening their own. That might be the correct one, but people at UBI want to open their own business, so they want UBI, and then they want to make some sort of profitable business on top of that. So basically, everybody wants to be the Pentagon. You know what I mean? They want the tax dollars in their back pocket to keep them afloat, and then we want to sell missile systems to whomever. Except you have the ghetto version of that, and that's usually sketchy seafood dishes being cooked right outside the project, which I have seen in the past. And you're saying, what's with the fucking UBI talk? Well, listen, it's everywhere, even in my former state of residence, the great state of New York, the Shabos governors, Governor Kathy Hochul, whatever. She's got a message for all you New Yorkers out there.
1 million New York families with children will be receiving a check in the mail by the end of August. Depending on your income and the size of the family, it'll determine the amount. Some families will receive up to $330 per child. You have 3 children, that's $1,000. No forms, no phone calls, no hoops to jump through. It's just going to come to that.
No forms, just free money. We're just going to push the money out the door. $300 per child, $1,000 per family. How bad is the economy crashing? They're just doing UBI. They're just quick before something goes wrong, squirt some fucking money out there. This is made up fucking money. This is 100%. This is so communistical. But we live in a communist fucking world. The world of central banking is a world of communism. Period. End of fucking story. The reason why there's communist parties in every fucking nation around the world is because there's a central bank in every nation around the world. And central banking supports communism to a greater or lesser degree. When they need them to go out and do shit, they fucking poke them and prod them, and they go out and do shit. And if they fail, like they failed, the Antifa thing failed in America, failed in a bunch of other countries too. But when the Antifa were doing their marches and the alt-right people, the patriot people went out there and they had street fights, Antifa got their shit kicked in, right? They got their fucking shit pushed in. And then later the police protected the Antifa people and then that's when the whole, we got to put these patriot Constitution people in prison shit. So, and the reason why that happens is because the people who print the fucking money, who run the fucking government, favor communism. But communists are generally shitty mercenaries. And when they fuck up, you have to hire more skilled, more competent mercenaries. And that would be your existing, at least in the West, existing police and security forces. So, and that's just the way it is. It's the way it is. And we live in a fucking world that's so fucking whacked. What do I want to do? We'll go there later. We'll go there later. Right now. These are the people, and I want you. This is a great opportunity for you, wherever you live, whether you live in New York or somewhere else, to find out if you're being colonized by the small hats. Do you want to know, is your neighborhood being colonized by the small hats? Well, here is how you can walk around your neighborhood and find out.
Kosher. If you look on the poles, there's these like gray PVC pipes. Gray PVC pipe. We got permission to install one on every single pole. See that? There you go. There's another one. And it's called an Eruv. According to Orthodox Jewish practice, on Shabbat is a day of rest, and we don't have anything in our pockets. We don't carry anything on Shabbos. And it's so relaxing not to have any phone, keys. You're just free. But if you have to push your kids in the carriage to shul, or if you need a key to your house, it could be a little bit of a problem. So there's a hack. It's not really a hack, but it's a Jewish law that says if there's a barrier, like a fence or a string around the city, it deems the city more of a private domain and less of a public domain, and one is allowed to carry on Shabbos. So we created, with the city's permission, a marker on every single pole. Oh, that one's missing. No. It's actually on the other side. I remember. Anyway, we put up a marker on every single pole to, according to halacha, create this Eruv, and I have to drive around every week and check that nothing fell down, that the Eruv is kosher. So the bottom line is, if you see me driving down the street, move far away, because I'm never looking at the road.
So our little friends of small hats admit that they're not paying attention while they're driving. They'll run you over, they'll run your kids over, because they're going to see if the plastic attachment to the telephone pole is their magical fence around the city, so they can fool God into believing they're indoors or some shit like that. So if wherever you live, look around, look at the telephone poles, and if there's a long fucking gray plastic strip on the telephone pole, you've been colonized. That's how you know you have been colonized, because they can't run magic. They did the magic string in New York and a couple other places, Atlanta, a couple other cities, but that's there's problems with the magic string on the telephone wires. So they've come up with instead of putting a string near the telephone wires, which is dangerous or whatever, they just put a plastic strip on the fucking pole, and that does the same job. Why? Because the Jews say it. They say it. That's the way it is, and that's the way it is. So yeah, when you're out walking your dog or whatever it is you do, go around, or if you're visiting someplace, some city in America, and you wonder, like, how fucking Jewified is this place? Just start looking at the telephone poles, and if you see a series of plastic fucking pipes or half strips of fucking plastic, then you know. There is the tell. There's the obvious thing you can look at to know, oh, okay, we know who runs this one. So that is that's how they're going to do things in the future. You just have to know what to look for. And you'll see it. And thankfully, they never shut up, and they'll fucking tell you exactly what to look for. What else? There's the idea. I wish this were true. I wish this was fucking true. To stay with politics and the people pushing different things behind the scenes. There's that, I don't know what the fuck this Project 2025 thing was that they were coming up with. They were saying, oh, it's a horrible thing, it's a nightmare, it's whatever. I had no idea what the fuck it was, but I saw this, and apparently whatever the fuck Project 2025 talks about, this is the part that they're really upset about. I don't think this is gonna happen, but the fact that, again, that this is being mentioned out loud is making some people pull their hair out of their fucking head.
Project 2025 is aiming to drastically change the way the Federal Reserve operates. The conservative policy agenda written in anticipation of Republicans winning the White House in November includes multiple proposals concerning the U.S. Central Bank. One of those is to stop the Federal Reserve from serving as a lender of last resort. If a large bank gets into trouble, its failure could have negative effects for the entire economy. The Fed, as a last resort, can extend a lifeline loan to keep the bank on its feet and the economy stable. But the project says that when the Fed acts as a safety net, it encourages banks to engage in reckless lending that leads to financial crises like the one in 2008, which culminated in the Fed bailing out banks deemed too big to fail.
Okay, so Project 2025 is an attempt to end too big to fail by not allowing the Fed to be the lender of last resort anymore. Is it going to go through? No, it's never going to go through. It's whatever the fuck else is in there. It's being demonized as, oh, it's terrorism. It's a terrorism because if we can't print free money and give it to the bankers who fucking lost it all by investing in some stupid shit. The reason why, whatever that is, and I don't think any of that's going to happen or any of that's going to get through, I doubt it. But it's interesting that that it's being floated, right? Supposedly conservatives or Republicans are pushing this, and they bother to write it down and publicly state it as a goal. You know, let's end too big to fail, which is ending the power of central banking, right? That they even dare mention that, you know, it fits with this. It's that Project 2025, and no, Bitcoin is total shit. It's not going to solve our fucking debt. Oh no, it's anti-freedom. It's fascism. It's digital fascism, or whatever you think the fuck it is, right? The reason why that hysteria is spooling up in the media is because there are people starting to think, hey, you know, let's not do this anymore. Let's stop this fucking money printing and this psychotic bullshit. Which, I don't know, by the way, I hope the audio is good, because normally I hear the speaker on this phone a lot better than I do now. I don't know why it seems. I'm not hearing when I play the videos, I'm not hearing the audio the way I normally do, and I don't know. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it's fine on your end. Hopefully it's fine on your end. But that Bitcoin is having an impact on politics. Even Bitcoiners I consider basically pussies, and I consider Michael Saylor a pussy, to be honest. You can't become a billionaire in the current system and be like, there's no billionaire toughness, right? Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg are not going to go duke it out in a fucking MMA match. That just isn't going to happen. But the only guy who was a billionaire who lost most of his fucking money and had to earn it, re-earn billions. The only guy I know who's ever done that is Saylor. And Saylor, in this clip, is a 48-second clip, which was this past weekend past at Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville. This is a glimmer of a man who just might be finding his spine. And I think this is interesting, because he says a lot of stupid shit, and when he says stupid shit, I slam him. But this is kind of make me favor him a little
You know, nobody ever said, hey, only put the kids on the school bus that you don't need me to return. Only buy a ticket on my airplane if you don't need to reach the destination. The engineers of the world don't say, hey, don't drive across my bridge if you really need to reach the other side. And so what I say is only buy Bitcoin with the money you can't afford to lose. I'm not going to equivocate. You shouldn't equivocate. People that equivocate don't understand Bitcoin. They still don't get the idea of perfect money. We didn't invest in it because we wanted to take a risk. We invested it out of disgust with the world that forces us to take risk with everything else, where the risks are stacked against us and undisclosed.
Isn't that interesting? You got a billionaire saying we moved our money into Bitcoin because we don't want to take risks. We don't want to risk hyperinflation. We don't want to put it in the stock market, although Sailor's a big stock market guy. But I don't want to take a risk with this value that I've created, my labor, my services, the goods I produce. I don't want to risk that future. I want a guaranteed future. I want a certain future where the value that I have created carries forward to tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, my children, my grandchildren. We're disgusted with this world that forces us to take risk by monetary inflation. Right? You pile up some wealth, some money, some cash, and then inflation shrinks it. It melts away like the ice cubes in my glass. And why? Why should money ever lose value? And so Sailor's like, well, this is not a fair system. You could argue hilarious coming from a billionaire, but he's right, and what he's saying is the truth. And so if what you say is true and right, then I'm going to agree with it, even if you are a fucking billionaire, even if you are a fucking billionaire. And part of the reason why this is attractive, you look at Michael Saylor and you go, I want to live that guy's life. Like he's a billionaire. He has, at least my understanding, MicroStrategy has 3 private jets. How do I know that? Because I went to corporate jet support, and I was talking to somebody who's hip to the JQ, who's like, he doesn't like Sailor. He's like, oh, Sailor flew to London, and they probably, getting permission from the Rothschilds to do this and that. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know Sailor flew to London? He's like, oh, we service his planes. He's got 3 planes. I don't think he has 3 planes. I think MicroStrategy, the company he used to be CEO of, has 3 planes, and he gets to use them. I'm pretty sure that's the arrangement. I don't think they're his personal planes. But this guy was like, yeah, and this guy's a big Trump hopper. He's another Trump hopper. He's like, Trump's going to do this and that. I'm like, yeah, you literally have it ass backwards. I don't think Michael Saylor flies to London to ask the Rothschilds permission for any fucking thing, although he doesn't see them for the evil fucking monsters that they are. But he, like my niece, thinks that, a billionaire reality TV star who cheats on his supermodel wife with a fucking chick who did porn is going to save him. And that is a level of desperation that is just going to have a bad outcome. You need to focus on things you can control, hoping that your life improves, because somebody you've seen on TV said some promise, I'm going to give you a car, whether it's Oprah Winfrey or Adolf Hitler. Trust me, this shit ends badly. Focus on what you can fix in your own life, things you can influence yourself, and you are going to have much better results, and you will be much, much fucking happy. Much happier. And I know there's a lot of people who still, no, James, you don't understand. Just because you've been outside the country twice, you think you understand international politics and China and the Middle East and this and that. My understanding is probably better than most. But you don't understand the power of nationalism. You don't understand how the leader and the people are in love with each other, and there's a unity. Oh, such fucking, And I'm telling you, like my nieces, they see fucking cocksucker. There's a picture of fucking Trump holding a Bible like this. And every time there's also a picture of George Floyd also holding a fucking Bible. I can never see one without seeing the other. But my fucking nieces are like, look, oh, Trump loves Jesus. I'm like, you think he was holding that Bible when he was fucking Stormy Daniels? You think he brought that Bible into the room? Hey, Stormy, let's open up. Let's read a passage from Sodom and Gomorrah. Oh, fuck. All right. Well, what are you going to do, right? So people believe in bullshit. But you believe that foreigners are different. And I'm telling you, they're all the fucking same. And the same cocksuckers, the same central bankers run everything everywhere. And I got a 9-second, this is a 9-second video. I'll show it multiple times. But this is a 9-second video showing you that really nothing you think about the world and foreign countries is even remotely close to fucking true. Here is 9 seconds from the Dos Vedanya Rodina fucking supranationalist state of Russia. Check this out. Yeah, let's see that again. Hold on a second. Did you read the little box of text? You didn't. Oh, you went by too fast. Okay, I'm gonna play it again. Read the white box of text, right? Because you see the thing flopping over. You know what's gonna happen in the video. Now, second time, go deeper. Read the text. Yeah, the Russian government is tearing down the monuments to the Holodomor, the mass starvation of 26 million Ukrainians when the Soviets took all their grain and people literally cannibalized their own children. That big stone monument had a cross on it. Oop, they fucking pulled it over and knocked it down. You know how that knocking down the statues thing was happening in America? They took Teddy Roosevelt down in Charlottesville, where I was at. They took down Robert E. Lee. And then all the statues going down. Remember, pulling down the statues, right? Oh, those commies. Who the fuck runs Russia? Oh, but I saw Vladimir Putin walk into a church and light a candle. So fucking what? So what? It's a more elaborate thing than Donald Trump holding up the fucking Bible, but it's still a fucking con, you dumb fucks. Putin is as much of a fucking spook, scumbag cocksucker, bootlicker to the fucking bankers as Trump is. He's not as charismatic. He's not as good in front of the camera. He can't ad lib and say funny shit the way Trump can. But it's just as much of a phony puppet. And the official policy, right? Pulling down the Holodomor memorials means they're erasing the Holodomor from Russian history. That shit never happened, right? All the Stalinist crimes, all the fucking Stalinist terror, all the fucking people being thrown into the gulag, fucking the people being shot in fucking basements, and the Chekists, fucking secret police just literally rummaging through the pockets of fucking dead people. They tell you to come in the basement, strip your fucking clothes off, right? Then they shoot you in the back of the head, dump you in a truck, and then bury you in a fucking field. Well, guess what? That was not a bad thing, right? And all the memorials saying that this bad thing happened, we're just gonna make that go away. We're just gonna fucking erase that. That never happened. And if you say it happened, guess what's gonna fucking happen to you? Guess what's gonna happen to you, right? It never fucking happened. Get it? The world is not the way you fucking think it is. The world is the way I say it, so it's a lot closer to the way I say it is. Then fascism, nationalism, you're believing in these elaborate fairy stories, which keep the fucking elites extracting fucking value upwards to them, or you get less and less and less and less and less, and you end up dying, starving, and homeless. Now, you think you can outrun this, or you can time this, or it's not going to happen in your lifetime. Maybe you don't even like your own kids. Maybe you hate your own grandkids. You go, oh, fuck it, you deserve to be worked to death in a gulag. Maybe you think that about your own grandchildren. I don't fucking know. I don't even have kids or grandchildren, but I think to myself, I want the world to be a better place. And like, what the fuck can I do? Like, what can I do without getting myself thrown in prison to fight this? That answer is, I will not be robbed. I'm not with the Spanish fascists. I'm not going to let Stalin steal my fucking gold. I'm not going to forget the things like the whole of the war. And I'm not going to let the central bankers steal the value I create. I have to get paid in Federal Reserve notes. I have to transact in dollars on a regular basis. But what's left over after I've done my absolute fucking minimum that I have to do, I store the rest of it in an economic system they don't own, they don't control, they can't fucking stop. That's my solution. That's my rebellion against them. And if you think it's a stupid idea, great. I don't give a fuck. Okay? You store your life in the promises of fucking Jews and central bankers and their fucking shabos fucking puppets, and best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. But I'm a little bit of a student of history, and I know how this fucking movie ends. You know what I mean? I know how this movie ends, and deep down, so do you. Deep down, so do you. So, what have I not beat up on? I haven't. What, we haven't done our fucking weekly pummeling. Weekly pummeling. It should be, though. It should be, let's pummel Elon Musk. Let's fucking, all right, here's, I saw, all this stuff just seems to fucking come together. It's either my insane mind or the algorithm. The algorithm just serves up to me all these beautiful fucking tidbits. Got a video here of Elon Musk, savior of humanity. Yeah, savior of humanity. Here's I did. It's like, dude, it's right in front of your face. I'm gonna show you this. Two things back to back. Elon Musk gonna save you from intergalactic fucking danger.
Why is NASA paying SpaceX almost $1 billion to destroy their own space station? So I want to clear up this viral news story, because NASA will still oversee the mission. SpaceX is just constructing the spacecraft that will deorbit the station, which actually has a genius design. You see, the spacecraft will help the ISS go under phased disintegration. Basically, it'll help detach the smaller parts, like the solar arrays, first. These parts will vaporize upon re-entry, but the larger parts will likely survive. So the spacecraft would also guide those parts to their crash landing, which is happening for a good reason. The station is getting old, and doing maintenance in space is expensive. After the crash, science can focus on deep space, and we can make room for commercial space stations.
So Elon Musk, SpaceX, a private company, by the way, they're going to take a billion taxpayer dollars to send a rocket to the International Fake Station to disassemble explain to me how this fucking happens. They're going to send a rocket with robots on it to disassemble the fucking solar panels in space. And what do they do with them? You take them apart, and then what happens? You take them apart, solar panels, and then they fall to Earth, right? Oh no. We're going to guide them. This is the guy whose robot, right? Remember, the Tesla robot is a t-shirt folding robot, right? That's all it can do on Earth. But thank God, 2,300 or 23,000 miles above. No, how far is the fucking Earth's atmosphere? It's only a couple of hundred miles. 200-300 miles. A couple of hundred miles above the Earth's atmosphere, right? We have a rocket that can disassemble solar panels in an entire space station and gently guide it back to Earth. And it's only going to cost you, the taxpayer, $1 billion. $1 billion with a B dollars. So I'm going to ask you, your entire family, and everyone you know, right? Here's a math question. If you earned after tax, if you earned $1 million a year, how long would it take you to earn $1 billion? Who has the answer? Class? Class? Look at me now being a school teacher. Who has the fucking answer? Answer is 1,000 years. If you earned $1 million a year, it would take you 1,000 fucking years to earn $1 billion. But they're going to take it from you, the taxpayer, because you don't control the fucking money printer and you can't stop the people who run the money. They're going to take $1 billion of the value you create, right? Your labor, your fucking work. They're going to take that and they're going to give it to SpaceX so they can do this thing, which is amazingly take apart a space station in low Earth orbit and gently guide it so it doesn't hit anything, right? Space is fucking fake. Space is fucking fake. Space is fake. Don't believe me? I saw this. This is a 49-second fucking video about the International Space Station. And what I'm going to do is this. See what I'm doing here? See what I'm doing here? I don't know how well the video looked a little small when I first tested it. But pay attention to what the guy's saying and watch particularly this.
So this is Japan or China. Oh, it just falls. Just falls. It's on the ISS though. So it's just hilarious how it works. They wear harnesses and wires, clearly. You can actually see the wire here. So they mess up, and that's because there is a reflective screen back here. And so it shows the wire. So if you look closely, you'll see that there's like a part of his shirt that's pulled up like this. And then you'll see the wire connected to it. It's like a hook right there. And it goes right with the part of his shirt. So yeah, he's hanging on a wire. And by the way, that's how we make space movies. This isn't like a new thing. It's just how you do it. Probably coincidence though. There's another part where obviously he's got the harness.
Okay, you see that? You see the guy's shoulder? You see the fucking wire underneath the shirt? Green screen effects. Space is fake. Right? No human being has gone beyond low Earth orbit. We can't, right? Because you're in a tin can full of air passing through a microwave. You're gonna fucking roast. But it costs $30 billion a year, or this year, $31 billion. Elon Musk, the super genius, who argues with Nayib Bukele over fucking Bitcoin in El Salvador, and who has threatened the president of Venezuela, Maduro, who's like the handpicked successor of Chavez, because Maduro says they won the election, but the CIA says some Jew broad that they hired to be the president of Venezuela won the election. Elon Musk is gonna fight with Maduro. Yeah, good fucking luck. Abject failure. You're being ripped off and you can't stop it. That's why you're a fascist. You're a fascist because fascism is a weak revenge fantasy for people who are incapable of flourishing in adverse conditions. One might argue, I would make this argument, it's a good argument to make, that the purpose of life itself, all human life, is to flourish under adverse conditions. Under less than ideal conditions, you still flourish. Can you do that? Well, I don't know. Maybe you can as an individual. Can a culture do that? Can an ideology do that? A political worldview, fascism, democracy, monarchy, whatever. Can it flourish under adverse conditions? So far, like it or not, cry all you want, democracy does best under adverse conditions. That's why it comes to Earth. There's a parasitical monster sucking the life of every human being on Earth and the value created by that time and effort up to themselves. And the systems that produce the most value tend to be what's called democracy. Fascism and all the rest are total shit. And how do you know that? Because democracy covers the earth and monarchy is fucking at best symbolic. And fascism doesn't exist unless fucking democracy gives it life, like it gave Hitler life. In Italy, what did fascism do? It overextended itself, could not conquer us. Think about this. Italy's 60 million people. Greece is 10 million people. Italy attacks Greece by surprise and still fucking loses. Still loses fucking really big time. Your shitty ideas, no one gives them. No one fucking cares about what you think is important. If you want shit done, you have to pay people. If you want good, complex, long-lasting, impressive shit done, you're going to have to pay a lot more. And if you don't have the resources, if your economic system does not produce enough material excess that you can spread it around widely enough so that you can get the best talent, you can get the best engineers and architects and doctors and scientists. If your economic system doesn't do that, then you are doomed to be in the dustbin of history at fucking best. The economic system that the entire world currently labors under is central banking. And that has to be destroyed. It has to be ended. Okay. The best way to end that, peacefully and legally and peacefully, is to exit the fiat system and enter a different system. For me, that different system is Bitcoin. Okay. That's what it is for me and a number of other people. The reason why Bitcoin is in the news everywhere and the presidents are talking about it, blah, 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 is because it has power beyond what you comprehend. No one gives a fuck about your shitty fucking ideas. Your ideas suck cock so bad, it's mind-blowing. But people will go along with it if you pay them. You know what I mean? Fascism might gain traction. Think about this, and this is what I want to do, like my fucking culture done. Why won't the youth embrace fascism? Can we just not embrace fascism? Can we just fucking, why can't we embrace it? Well, or think about America's youth. They're working in fucking McDonald's or a gas station, some shitty job in the dollar store. Imagine in the middle of the country, right? They're not in New York, Chicago, or any big place, right? Grinding away 40, 50, 60 hours a week at a minimum wage job. That fucking sucks. You're a liquor store clerk and some fucking dindu goes, yo, motherfucker, yo, give it up it now. And you're going to get shot over what's in the cash register. Like, a couple of $100 in the cash register and you're a fucking liquor store clerk. How much does that suck, right? Or you got to be behind plexiglass and go to ghetto liquor. I've been in a number of ghetto liquor stores in Philly and New York and a bunch of other places. It's like literally it's like you're walking through fucking a prison. The people who work there, explain to them how your ideology, your set of political ideas, your set of economic ideas improve their lives so much more that they should abandon whatever the fuck they're currently doing, which is nothing, and do what it is you want. People do what is easy, right? They do what's easy, what's fucking profitable, and what's low risk. That's what normies do. That's what normies do. Young men, if they're trying to prove themselves, will take really stupid risks for uncertain payoffs. And you can get, and that is exploited in America by law enforcement. Go do it anti-Semitism. Get an AR-15 and do a racism. Whatever the fuck it is. Like if they can, there are elements of the US government that if they can get emotionally disturbed youth, right, to do something big and dramatic, it might convince everyone to just burn the Constitution, which would be great because the Constitution, as much as it's flawed, and it is flawed, it's a flawed document and its implementation is flawed, absolutely. As flawed as it is still something of a check on the tyrants. And once they get that out of the way, once they can convince everyone that, see this set of rules that we wrote down, see this set of rules, it's called the Constitution. This is sucky shit. We're not going to do this anymore. We're going to do a new thing. And if you can make that idea popular enough, they're like, okay, everyone get the matches. Let's burn the Constitution. Let's burn the rule set, the set of rules which guide our behavior, the set of rules which say if you do this, you get a positive reward. If you do this, you get a negative punishment. Insofar as I can tell, fascism doesn't even promise it. Like Hitler, by accident, said, "I'll give you a Volkswagen." You know what I mean? That's literally by accident. This fucking retard stumbled over shit by fucking, walking backwards. They don't even promise a better material future. They just say, we'll really, really punish those people we hate. No one gives a fuck, right? No one fucking cares because my wife needs shoes, my kids need fucking food, my house is cold or it's hot or whatever. I don't like my job where I have to go shovel snow, fill potholes, clean fucking toilets, or do some miserable, shitty fucking stoop labor job and live at this miserable fucking level. If you promise people, listen, what fascism is, I'm a fascist. By the way, we're the fascists of America. Here's our list of shit we're going to do. End stoop labor. No one's going to have to clean toilets anymore. No one's going to have to fucking fill potholes in fucking August anymore. You're never going to have to do that ever again. We're going to make machines to do this and whatever. You won't have to go, you won't have to do that. You won't have to flip burgers and you won't have to work be a fry cook for your entire fucking life, right? You won't have to work from 16 to 66 in order to fucking retire and hope that you have enough money for medicine and food as your fucking teeth fall out and your hair falls out. We're going to give you a better life. You can work less time, have more freedom. If you fucking promise that, which you won't do because you're psychotic, angry cocksuckers who have zero ideas, and whatever ideas you do have are shit. If you did that, you would at least get some kid flipping burgers and having to clean the fucking toilets in McDonald's going, what do you mean a day could come where I wouldn't have to do this anymore? Yeah, I'm interested. Wait a minute. Are you telling me I could have enough money to support a wife and children and go on vacation? I could walk the streets without worrying about getting fucking mugged, killed, or seeing fucking trash. I could live in a nice, clean fucking area that's safe. And I could have free time to pursue my fucking interests or, just be with my family. Do you promise that? No, you don't promise that. Or you promise us we're going to fucking get these guys. What good does that do for me? I'm going to be a slave to the fucking communists or I'm going to be a slave to you. Who gives a shit, you jerk off? That's never going to work. It literally isn't, as a political philosophy, it is the fucking failure of fucking failures. And it's obvious for the fact there is no place on earth where it's done. And every time it's been tried, it's been crushed. And it cannot flourish. This is a set of ideas, a rule set that cannot flourish under adversity. Whereas my philosophy, which is money is justice, the Bitcoin philosophy has already flourished in an extremely adverse environment. That's the difference between us and you. The people who subscribe to our philosophy, right, that proof of work is valuable, right, and that there needs to be an equal exchange of value, that money is justice. The people who subscribe to my philosophy have flourished in a world controlled by the communists. We have flourished and everyone else has withered. And that's the difference between me and you. And you are so desperately clinging on to a set of shitty fucking ideas that don't work. That there's almost no difference between you and the Trump uppers, except it's a little bit easier for the feds to push you into doing a terrorism or a racism or an anti-Semitism and using your stupid fucking actions to burn the Constitution, to destroy the rule set that provides you with at least a modicum of material material wealth. I'm more addicted of, because America's the best place, and there are less good places around the world. But like I said, we know how this ends. It's all about extracting all the value upward until there's nothing below there, and then we go on to the next thing. And that's worked for a long time, but it's not going to work forever. And lucky us, at least lucky those who realize what I've realized. They don't know the JQ. They don't understand any of this shit. They don't. They just don't see that. They don't understand William the Conqueror and Philip the Fair, and they don't get. They don't get it. Like they can look right at it and not see it. They fail to see it because of selective attention. They're paying attention to Austrian economics or some other bullshit, right? And not going, hey, you know what? The name of that guy who's the scumbag is the same as that guy who's also a scumbag. Who's that other criminal dude? Yeah, the one, the pornographer. Yeah, the one. Yeah, that's all. Strangely, they all have the same fucking ethnic background. What a coincidence! And when you notice that, it's the beginning of noticing something, but it's not problem solving. You have to solve the fucking problems that people have, and your ideology doesn't do. But the ideology of money is justice does do that. And that's something every motherfucker on God's green earth wants to hear. You know what? They will gladly do what you tell them if one, if you compensate them sufficiently. Two, if you don't say, well, by the way, I'm the supreme leader. Let me explain to you. Here's the glory of fascism. I'm authoritarian. I tell you what to do or else. Right? I tell you what to do or else. And you still have to clean toilets and work at the fucking fly station at McDonald's. But at least you don't have to do it for Jews. You can do it for me. Yeah, that's not the selling point that you think it is. That's not the selling point that you think it is. Sit there, think about an 18-year-old kid who goes, my entire life I'm gonna be flipping burgers and fucking and emptying the fucking truck at the mega corporation burger fucking franchise. And that's a real life for so many outside of fucking the big cities. That's a real life in so many places, you know. What do you have to offer them? Why would they take a risk? Why would they fucking lift a fucking finger for you? You're offering them the same shitty deal, but with a different group of fucking scumbags at the top. Who fucking cares? Right? That's the reason why you can't gain any traction. That's the reason why everyone fucking hates you. You're offering a slightly different flavor of fucking eternal slavery. You know what? Fuck you. Right? You gotta at least sell the fucking. You gotta at least sell the fucking fantasy that it's gonna get better. Christianity is based on, listen, show up at church come here every Sunday. We're gonna tell you suck. We're gonna tell you you're gonna burn in hell because whatever, you touched your own penis, or God forbid you touched a woman, and you have to give us 10% of your income. But if you do that every week religiously, the first shall be last. When you die, you'll go to heaven. Right now, you're last. We're at the bottom. We threaten you. We extract money from you. We tell you you're a horrible person. But once you die, you go right up to where the clouds are. You get a big fucking, you get a set of wings, and you fly around with a harp, and everything's going to be great. The last shall be first. And that worked. That worked for a big part of white people for a long time. It's not really working too well right now, but you have to at least fucking sell the idea. You're not even doing that. That's why you fail. The reason why we succeed is because if you have $10 worth of Bitcoin or $10 billion worth of Bitcoin, if the price goes up, your little $10 worth of Bitcoin goes up the same exact amount as Michael Saylor's $10 billion of Bitcoin. The same amount at the same time. You benefit equally. It's almost like unity, but for unity for people with more than 2 brain cells. A unity of interest, because everyone wants to advance their own interests. But your set of ideas, which you think are so brilliant, oh, this is foundational, and what is this, a civilization we can create, mostly boils down to, I will give the orders and you will clean the toilets. But you'll like it better because I won't make you march in the gay parade. Nobody gives a fuck about the gay parade. Nobody even does that. Like, it sucks, but most people just fucking ignore it because they have to. If they have to wear a little rainbow flag pin in order to get their weekly paycheck, they will. It isn't because they believe in raping children. It's because wearing this little fucking gay flag pin is how I pay my fucking rent and feed my kids. None of your ideas, none of the communist ideas, nobody likes them. All your ideas suck cock. You are cock-sucking communist faggots. You're just saying, put us in charge instead of them in charge. That's all you got. If you said, listen, our way improves your life materially, gives you more free time and more freedom to pursue what it is you want to pursue, that's a fucking winner. That's what Bitcoin is, right? It's what Bitcoin's done for me, and I'm a fucking nobody. I am a nobody who lives in a 1-bedroom apartment in New Jersey and drives cardboard boxes from here to there in a 2006 Toyota Matrix with 650,000 miles on it. Okay? That philosophy has improved my life. Okay? And it can improve anyone else's life who chooses to participate with us in a greater degree or lesser degree or whatever. That's why we're going to win and you're going to die starving fucking homeless. That's why we're going to win and you're going to die starving. In the meantime, the central bankers will bleed out, will fucking bleed out the world economy by printing until their paper receipts or the electronic credits are so worthless that no one will fucking, it wouldn't even bother rioting anymore. Let's show one more video. This, I hadn't seen this in a while. I love this. I fucking love this shit. Because once I saw this, when you understand how fucking they just don't respect you. They just think you are the stupidest, most worthless, powerless piece of shit ever. And they're right. As long as you stay in their system, they are right. But the minute you take a step out, you go somewhere else, and you have that choice to do. All of this becomes fucking comic. So, what should we stay on this earth? This earth sucks. James, you don't understand. This earth sucks. Life sucks. The entire planet sucks. Well, I got news for you. We can go somewhere else. We can go. This is what Elon Musk says. We can go to Mars. Ready? Ready? Steady? Here we go. We're going to leave this miserable earth. There you go, kids. Mars is Devon Island in Canada. Mars is in Canada. They just take shitty pictures with a little fucking toy rolling around the fucking empty island of Canada. They put a red filter on it and hey presto, you're in Mars. That cost you $30 billion. By the way, that's where Elon Musk is going to take you. Elon Musk is going to take us all to Mars, which luckily we can get there real quickly because Mars is really Devon Island in Canada, right? Image for image, exactly the fucking same. Image for fucking image, okay? That's how much they shit on you That's how much they disrespect. But you still choose to use their fucking money and pretend to fucking and oh, I'm gonna overthrow this. I'm gonna listen. I red pill anyone. You could show people the Mars video. You could show them the fucking international fake station video. No, Elon Musk is a genius. He sends rockets to space. He practices MMA and he's gonna fight Mark Zuckerberg. You might as well be talking to somebody who actually is taking fucking hallucinogenic mushrooms. They're lost in a dream world. There's no way they're going to see their own interest. But I suggest to you to see your own interest, which is to leave this economic system and the belief system built around it, and free yourself. Okay, take the core idea that Oprah Winfrey and Adolf Hitler offered. Oprah Winfrey said, everybody wins a car. I guess you could go drive your friends to wherever you go with your friends. And Adolf Hitler said, I'm going to give you a Volkswagen. I have a little mustache and a grand plan to give everyone in Germany a car so you can drive out of Germany so you don't have to get sent to the Eastern Front. Right? Improved material circumstance plus freedom of movement, right? Less work. Because if you're out driving your Volkswagen, you're not at the ball bearing factory banging out the fucking, the fucking bearings needed to make a Messerschmitt fly to Poland, right? You're on vacation or on holiday. You could have that if you do what we do, right? I have a better life since I became a Bitcoiner, and you will too, and so will your children, and so will your grandchildren, because you have an economic system that flourishes under adversity and rewards those who follow the rules. All of the people, whether it's Michael Saylor or me, our wealth goes up in the short term, goes up and down in sequence, right? Not in sequence, in parallel, right? Michael Saylor gets richer, I get richer at the exact same time and the exact same amount. He doesn't get 15% and I get 8%. He gets 15%, I get 8%. And that frees you up to do things you never thought you could fucking do. And that's what I suggest to you. That is what I suggest you base your life on, rather than waiting for Donald Trump or Adolf Hitler or whoever the fuck you think is going to come rescue you, because no one's coming to rescue you. Stop being a child. Don't be like my niece. Oh, make groceries affordable again, orange man who fucks porn stars. But you held up the Bible once in a picture, so I believe you can improve my life. I can't help that kid. I wish to God I could fucking help that kid. I can't help him. And I can't help you either. You're going to figure this out on your own, right? You're either going to figure it out and do it voluntarily, or you're going to be living in a cardboard box, smashing your head against the fucking sidewalk, going, I shoulda, woulda, coulda. But you didn't. Anyway, 1 hour, 38 minutes. 1 hour, 38 minutes. We've had people jump in and out, viewership go up and down. I don't always trust the numbers because I noticed that on certain streams I watch, the likes go up 2, 3, 4, or 5 likes, and then whoop, drop back down to 1. So they're always fucking. Anyway, 2, Virgil Dark Purple. 2, with which Judas Fly Chai? I wonder if he joined the IDF. I wonder if he actually left Los Angeles and joined the IDF. That would be a heroic action on his part. I doubt it. I don't think he's done that. I really don't think that he's gone over to fight for the nation state that he claims to love. He's just going to love it from the safety of his living room while watching it on television. It ain't worth fighting for. Nothing they tell you, to be honest, nothing they tell you worth fighting for is worth fighting for. But those are hard lessons to learn, especially for young people who are desperate. What are they desperate for? They're desperate for likes. Like, I'm desperate for likes. Smash on the like button if you're here. Stop being desperate for likes. but smashes the like button so that somebody at fucking Google has to subtract the likes down to fucking 1 or 0 after this is done. Do it just to make that cocksucker work a little bit harder for his Google paycheck. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Do you know what I am saying? I hope so. Because this is the thing. This is the thing we need to end, right? Peacefully and legally, we need to end this thing, right? And the good news is, really, when you free people up to be and do the best that they can be and do, that shit will end. Not tomorrow, but we work towards it. At least I work towards it. Literally 6 days of fucking. All right. We've gone a bit long. We're an hour 40. An hour 40 on this Sunday night chill stream. August, what are we, 4th, 5th? And so, Birds Like Purple Heart, the other lurkers, the people that are going to come watch in the coming week, thank you guys for showing up, and I'll talk to you again next week.